Hello guys, today I would like to share with you my favorite fingerless gloves pattern that's very simple. It's for total beginners. I think even if you have never knitted before, you will be able to knit this kind of fingerless gloves that are without fingers, so they're very easy, but they're still very warm. Don't worry, and they're very convenient for many things. The pattern is very simple. First we will knit elastic stitch, then the knit stitch, then elastic, and then I show you how to start the finger. So until you knit until here, and then I show you the finger. So I recorded this video and I hope it will be clear. If you have any questions, you can write in the comments below. As you see, they are totally the same. I can switch the hands, and you don't need to think if you are knitting the right hand or left hand. That's the best thing of the fingerless gloves. I love them also for this reason, and I will show you how to knit that you don't have any holes between this finger and the rest of the glove. So for this pattern, for this project, you will need just the needles. I have 3mm. You will need 5 of these sock needles and the pin, so you will see how to start the finger. And actually that's all what you need. Let's get started with the casting on. I just like to cast this way the first loop. You can cast as you are used to. On the first needle I will have 10 loops. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the next needle I will have 8. On the next 3, 8 loops. So just continue to cast on 8 loops on the other 3 needles. I have done casting, so now I just put the needles in the right way to get a square, and the loops must watch down, so check that they are all in right position. And now we start to knit. So we will knit and purl. We will alternate our, it's hard to put the needles on camera not to get noise. So how I knit: insert, hope you can see well, like that, yarn over and pull through this loop and release, and purl, put the yarn in front, insert, now the yarn goes behind, grab the yarn and pull through. So insert the yarn, the needle, sorry, we grab the loop, grab the yarn. I hope you can really see my movement because it's hard to describe. And if you already know how to knit and purl, That's perfect. You can do it the way you are used to. The main thing, you must knit and purl, so you get elastic stitch. And the last loop is purl. The first row is a bit harder than the others, but it's just the first row. So that's how it looks like. Now we move to the next needle. And here we had purl, so here we start with knit stitch. Knit and purl. Right now I have finished the first row, and I want to show you how to start your second row. As you can see here, I have a long yarn that if I don't take care now, it can end up in big hole. So right now I have to knit very tightly this first stitch. So where we had the knit stitch, we continue to knit, and where you have the purl stitch, you purl. So if you see purl, you purl, and if you see knit, you knit. And you see now there is no more this yarn, so just tighten. And here I purl a bit the other way. It's easier for me to grab this yarn behind, take the yarn, the back loop, and purl that way. So because if you see the loop, the back loop is closer to you, so it's easier to grab it with the needle. Put the yarn here and make a loop. I will show you even closer. So here it's quite easy way, but if you never tried, you have to get some practice. You continue to purl. You can actually, if you have another way of knit and purl stitch, you can just do the way you always did and just get the elastic stitch. Here it's easier. So you must always see here on the loop which one is closer, and grab the one that looks closer, then it's easier to knit or purl. So this one is closer to me than this one, so of course I use this one, and here the back loop is closer, so I grab the back loop, and you will get something like that. I already knitted one, so here how it looks like. It's very stretchy, that's why we continue with knit and purl, so it's practically can fit small and bigger sizes. and I knitted for 20 rows, so you knit and purl for 20 rows, and then I show you how to switch to knit stitch. I have crocheted 20, oh sorry, I have knitted 20 rows, and now we will start our knit stitch part until the finger part. So we have to knit other 20 rows. Yeah, other 20 rows. And I show you how to switch from knit and purl to knit stitch only. Here I go with the as before, and here I have the back loop closer, so I take with the back loop, yarn over, and I knit like that. So the knit stitch I take with front loop and the purl stitch with back loop. So the stitches are neater. Here I have my yarn split it, so I fix it. And you continue like that. And then you knit another 20 rows, and we meet when we have to start our finger part. So I have finished my 20 rows, and now we have to, now I show 20 rows to start our finger part. To do that we need or a pin or a marker, anything where you can put your loops on for a while. So let's put 4 loops on a marker. Okay. And now our task is to get these 4 loops back to continue our glove. So to do that, we take the yarn and we start to cast the loops. So just take and go from behind yarn. So you have to do like this. Sometimes I mix how to, so you go from inside, okay, and you take this yarn inside and you take the yarn. So I hope it was clear. So you got the 4 loops back, and now we continue to knit as before with a knit stitch. Okay, okay, and you got a small hole here. This is your knit stitch, and we continue 10 more rows of knit stitch, and then we will switch back to elastic. Finished 10 rows, and now we will start our last part. Is this one, the same part like we did here, knit and purl. So Let's make elastic stitch. So we knit first and purl. Knit. Since this one is closer to me, the front loop, I just take with the front loop. Knit and purl. And I will knit 5 rows. And we will later just finish with our finger. Well, I have finished 5 rows, so I will show you how to cast off. Just it's very easy, but if you don't know, I show you now. Knit as before, then you can knit stitch also here and bind off like that. So the previous loop goes inside the other loop. And you get a small chain here. So the thing is always to have one loop only. So when I have knit stitch, I knit as before, and the purl I knit with back loop only. You can also purl and bind off. You can bind off as you are used to, it doesn't matter. Just well, I hope you understand. So you continue like that and you will get a very pretty chain here. And then we will start the finger. So right now I will show you how to knit this finger. As you can see, the finger doesn't matter which hand, left or right. You can perfectly fit both hands. So if you want to knit the right hand or left hand, you knit them completely the same, and the finger will just move from one side to another one, so it will fit perfectly. And I show you how to avoid the big holes as much as possible, and I prefer elastic stitch here. You can continue with knit stitch, it's all your creativity. Well, let's start. Here we have the loops here that we just put on our needle. Okay, we have 4. Now we take another, okay, we take here, like you see it's of the previous loop, right? So I hope you can see the next loop that was here. You just grab it like that, then another one, then just keep this one big and move to the one that we cast on before. so you have two, and here just cast on this, and you have the long one here and the other one here, so you have all the possible holes prevented. And right now we take our yarn and the needle, and I will start with my elastic stitch. So as before, knit and purl. I think it will be quite easy. We just start directly from knitting with the yarn. Keep the yarn so it doesn't lose, and purl, knit. So here the yarn split it, so I grab, knit and purl. Now we move to our next needle. It's a bit challenging, the finger part, but it's not that difficult after you get some practice. So we have knit and purl, the other two, knit and purl. You already can see that this way you have no holes. And here we do absolutely the same. Hope you can see well. Knit, purl, knit and purl, and we continue the next row, knit and purl. So we now can start our second row, and we will knit for 8 rows, around 8 rows. You can knit as much or as long as you want, or even make it much shorter. It all depends on you. I will have my 8 rows. Be careful here with the end. And then just continue as you already did before, knit and purl. Okay, we completely finished our fingerless glove. So now I show you how I weave the ends, and maybe it can be useful for some beginners. So I just used tapestry needle, and here I would love to connect together into my first stitch, and so you see it becomes neater. And now I want to weave my end here. I can actually move the yarn here to make it even neater. As you can see, like that, it's practically invisible. So what I do right now is I find this rib here, and I insert the needle, and I go to the next one, and a few more, and to the last one. And what I do next is I cut the yarn shorter, like that. You can even keep longer if you want. Split the yarn into 2 parts and make the 3 knots. Like that, I'm very sure that it will never untie, it will never unweave, and I knitted for so many years and I never had any problem with the ends. So sometimes I even make just 2 knots, but to be sure you can make all 3. Okay, and then you simply cut shorter, and believe me, it will never undo even after washing. So that's how it looks like. And here you will have one small knot, but it's very durable. And now I show you, here is the same way, and here you just weave in on the other side and make the same thing on the inside. Just you can go here or between these stitches, it doesn't matter. So guys, we have finished our fingerless gloves. They are so warm and cute. I hope you really love this tutorial, and if so, you can subscribe to my channels for more videos. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye bye.